Alright, I'm gonna sew my rolled hem romper. I already put my front piece together, so I'll start with the back piece. You're gonna see each piece has these indication boxes here. One of them is numbered. You'll just have to cut alongside it. It doesn't even have to be a straight line, just as long as it's right underneath those boxes. Because then you're going to overlap it with the matching number. And tape. Okay, and I'm cutting out the shorts at the purple line, so I'm not going to tape these last two pieces. I'm going to do the short sleeve so I don't have to tape anything together, just cut it out. And then the neckband here, cut alongside each of these boxes here, and then tape them together. Here's my neckband. And then for the interfacing piece, I'm not going to use it because I'm just going to use my ruler to cut out 1 inch wide and the same length as my center front. For the front piece, it says cut to one with it facing up and one with it facing down to get opposites. But what I'm going to do is just fold my fabric over. And just cut once, and that way you'll get opposites since it's folded over. And make sure that your grain line is correct. So it should be going this way, and that'll be parallel to the selvage edge here. So there's my 2 opposite front pieces. I'll just set those aside. So the sleeves are cut on the fold, so fold it over the same as you did, and place the pattern piece right along that folded edge. Don't forget to clip your notch right at the center top. Okay, so that's my first sleeve. And the second is done the exact same way. I'm going to use this extra piece of fabric here to cut out my neckband. There's my neckband. Now I need to cut out my back on the fold. It'll actually make more sense to go this way. so I could save fabric. And it doesn't matter as long as your print is non-directional. Okay. And this has a notch at the center back neck. Okay, those are all my fabric pieces. Now I just need to cut out the 2 pieces of interfacing for the snap placket. I use this fusible interfacing that you can buy at almost any craft store. The interfacing piece, I'm going to cut 1 inch wide and 16 inches long because that's the length of the center front of my size romper. If you don't have interfacing, you can always use a piece of woven fabric or even another layer of knit fabric might be enough to stabilize it. My first step is going to be ironing this onto the center front. Here's one of my center fronts. I'm going to put it on the wrong side, right along this edge. Because that is where I'm going to fold it in and then set the snaps. Step is going to be serging the shoulders together. So here's the back piece, the shoulders. And here's one of my front pieces. Here's my first shoulder lined up. And my second. So now they're sewn together, and you'll see the center fronts right here meet up. And the second step is going to be the neckband. Here you'll fold the neckband in half, like this. Clip a little notch at the center. Then you'll fold the neckband in half this way so the wrong sides are together. And find that middle notch and pin it to that notch on the neck on the back piece. And you'll see all the raw edges are lined up together here. Now with the front, with one of the ends of the neckband, pin it to the center front. And then pin the other end of the neckband to the other center front. So you'll see it's shorter than the next. You're gonna have to stretch it as you serge. What I'm going to do next is do a straight stitch right on top of that serged seam. But I'll do it from the top so it looks nicer. Make sure it's a straight stitch. and a medium to long length. Relieve the pressure on the foot by lifting it up just a tiny bit as you go, or if you can adjust it on your machine, that works too. Now it'll lie a lot flatter. We're back at the serger, and I'm gonna put the sleeves on. Here's the shoulder seam and the armholes on this side right here. I'm gonna put my sleeve face down with that notch matching the shoulder seam. And I'm gonna pin it in place there. And then I'll start sewing the sleeve on by starting at the side seam. Okay, now my first sleeve is sewn on, and it should look like that from the front. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, now both sleeves are on. So now turn the outfit inside out so that the right sides of the fabric are together and the side seams are lined up here. And sew down the side seam from the sleeve hem all the way to the leg hem. Okay, that first side seam is closed. Now we'll do the other side seam. Okay, now both side seams are closed. The center front, I like to serge down the edge just to kind of give it a finished look. Alright, so after serging that edge and knotting the top, you'll fold that center front in about 1 inch, which is the same width as your interfacing, and then overlap them by 1 inch as well. I'm going to pin them together so it stays in place when I sew the inseam. All right, now I'm gonna line up my inseam and sew that closed. When you sew the inseam, make sure that these plackets stay in place and that you catch both of them in the seam. All right, there you go. Now the inseam is closed. So to do the hems, you will roll it up twice, about 3/4 of an inch to an inch wide. I'm back at the sewing machine to sew up the hems. So here's my sleeve hem rolled up twice. All I'm gonna do is triple stitch right on top of this serged seam here to hold it in place. And then I'll do another one right on the top here, opposite of that. And then I'm going to do the top. Okay, that sleeve's done. And I'll continue to do the other sleeve and the leg hems the same exact way. Alright, I'm gonna move on to snaps next. I just made sure my panels, my plackets were pinned so that they're folded in 1 inch. When I overlap them, this one is on the bottom, and so that's where I'm gonna start with the male halves. I'm gonna set my first snap on the neckband right there, right at the top. So put the ring on the inside. And that one's set. Next one I'm going to do is going to be right at the bottom, about 1.5 inches up. And again, put the open ring on the inside. And you're going to set the snaps pretty much right in the middle of that 1 inch wide placket. Next, I'm going to fold this placket in half so that top and bottom snaps meet. And I'm going to find the center of that. So I'll set my next snap right at the center. I have the center, bottom, and top. I'm going to take my pins out now. The next one, fold the placket again, but this time meet the top snap with the middle snap to find that center. And then down here, fold the bottom snap with the middle snap to find the center of those two. Now I have all 5 snaps set for that side. And to get the placement for the female halves, I'm just gonna fold this panel, this placket on top of it, and use the open ring. Put the open ring right on top of that male half to figure out where to place the female halves. And as I set them, I just snap it together so it holds it in the right spot. Okay, for the next one, then you just feel it. Place the open ring right on top of it. Like that. Find the next one. It should look like this when you're done.